Hello heroes, today is day 23 of 100 days of dad magic. No wonder once you pop you can't stop. So as you may have already learned, I love a good trick that winds my kids up like a clockwork toy. And this one is a great one because again, it's one of these ones that you can do and you do it right in front of them, but then they can't replicate it again as well. And it's really fun to do. So what you're going to do, you're actually just going to take a couple of cards and you're just going to rub them on your arms to give them like a static charge, okay? And when you get them a static charge, when you rub them together, they stick. You can move them about and slide them apart, and they really do completely stick together, okay? It's only when you break them apart that they break apart. So you can show your kids again, you give them a rub, okay? And then you're going to stick them together and then break them apart. Now the cool thing right now is that you can hand these straight to your kids and they can rub and rub and rub and rub, and they will never get them to stick. Because you know the secret, and the secret is this. So this one doesn't actually work with any static at all. You can rub this however you like, they're never going to stick together with static. No, no, no. Instead, what they stick together with is a bit of moisture. Now, I mean, I've washed these cards and I know where they've been. So I'm quite happy licking my finger and then just applying a bit of moisture to the card. Because as soon as you do that, when you rub the two cards together, they stick. Okay? You can move them. The cool thing is as well, that you can move them and they still stick. Now, the only thing that you do have to be careful of is catching a glimpse of some moisture in some light or something like that. So what I tend to do is I start like this and then I move them in like that. So I'm actually covering more area, okay? And then you break them apart. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can go on to do it again and hand the cards straight to them. But you obviously have to clean it up, right? So what I do is I give them a rub. And all that's doing is that's rubbing the moisture right off. So the cards haven't got any moisture on it at all. So how do I do it again? So the real secret here is that I'm actually using, on the second time, my finger. If you curl your fingers in like this, it looks really fair, but I'm actually using my finger to hold it, okay? So whoop, like this, break it apart, and now you can hand it straight to them. They've just watched you do it twice, and they'll never be able to do it. I love being a dad. So that has been day 23 of 100 days of dad magic. And as always, if you like what I'm doing here, please follow the channel, comment down below today with the word static. And also share amongst your socials so that other parents can have the joy of shazamming their kids like we all do. And remember, when you can, be more than just a hero. So you can give it the old flash the money cards, put them away, and go about your day. Probably spending this on ice cream or something for the kids.